Welcome everyone to Horror with Heidi. I'm Heidi and this is Fingerbones by one of my favorite developers, David Zemansky. If you've been here for a while, you've heard me talk about him a few times before. I've played two of his other games so far. And I love his games so much. If you've been around for a while, again, you may remember when I had intended to play this game before, but what happened was the recording was corrupted. I don't remember what happened exactly, but basically I played the whole game start to finish, only to find out that the recording was no good and had to trash it. I chose not to replay it because I felt this game was more appropriately played with the essence of surprise, not knowing what happened, as is most appropriate with most of his games. They're extremely creepy and very disturbing, and being surprised by it is what makes it enjoyable as a game. But I really like this game, as I do all his other ones. I really wanted to show you all this game, so I've decided to play it anyway. I had originally intended to wait until I completely forgot everything about the game, because I did that once before and I assumed I'd do it again, but I instead decided to play it again, but I'm going to do it as kind of a narrative style, so all the text and everything that's said, it's going to be like narration style. The game is still extremely creepy and very disturbing, so I apologize for the fact that I probably won't be startled or surprised by anything that happens, but I do hope that you all still enjoy it and are still extremely creeped out by it. So, we will begin now. What's going on. Right now we're just in this room, and we find little notes all over the place. It's my weekend to get Katie, but I'm really not in the mood. I distracted her with the TV and came here to read. I couldn't interest myself in reading, so I tried to write. I couldn't write anything more than the usual handful of disconnected thoughts and theories. Medication didn't help, and the divorce certainly didn't help. Because I am not depressed, I am enlightened. This is the result of 2 decades of scientific education and philosophical pondering. This is the price of knowledge. Here's a flashlight. There we go, much better. So I believe, I don't know how long this is going to be, but probably about 20-25 minutes, because I know where everything is now. I don't know why I'd use my daughter's name as a door lock code in my survival bunker, but whatever keeps her happy, I suppose. She's like her mother, a delicate, fragile version of her mother. Damn her. Right there, the fact that he points out she's delicate and fragile, it's being familiar with his games, and if you are too, it's a little foreboding. It appears to be a page from manuscripts. Pop morality is too reliant on emotions, and not reliant enough on rational thought. If morality must be determined, and I maintain that it is a farce, it should be determined by feeling. Feelings are nebulous, subjective, and changeable. Rather, it should be determined by thinking. The actions of a natural creature are natural and thus moral, unless concrete scientific reasons can be given to prove them as immoral. So I'd like to elaborate on these notes, but I'm not going to do that just yet. Here we go. I was waiting for this one. I was 15 years old when I lost my virginity. I shook uncontrollably the entire time. is locked, but it won't be in a minute. And this door doesn't go anywhere. If you want to exit the game, you leave that door. Which we're not going to do. So over here, now his computer is on. It's not really a computer, it's a keyboard. His daughter's name's Katie. That opens the door. My first playthrough of this was very awkward. Not awkward, it was... I was able to figure out this game is actually still very creepy, even though I've played it twice now. Finally happened. The whole world is a chaos of thunder and screams. And when the ashes settle, we will all be wild animals again. I am ecstatic beyond words. I haven't been able to reach Lynn for several days, and she's probably dead for all I know or care. But Katie was here when it started, and I have no idea what to do with her. Most of the town is dead. Katie and I only survived because we ran into the bunker. Perhaps this is what I've needed. Freedom from the irrational rules and insane social values, just pure, beautiful survival. Oh, one of those. I boxed up everything that isn't practical and useful. I burned all the books that weren't for scientific edification. I'd like to store the boxes in the cellar, but I can't get them down the ladder by myself. I just piled them up near the hatch. The blood would probably ruin them anyway. Why is there blood? Whose blood is it? The tool room has been her name for years now. I can't bring myself to change it. So you do have to figure out a series of passwords. So yeah, this door's locked. And as you can imagine, the hatch is also locked. So you do have to figure out a series of passwords. My problem the first time is that I could not figure out the third password and the fourth password. The third one seemed somewhat obvious in retrospect. But the fourth one I couldn't. It was possibly also very obvious, but I don't think I ever would have gotten it. So that is Lynn, his wife. Assumably his wife. Katie's his daughter. He doesn't really reference anyone else. He knows. And this is the tool room. Father's Day and drew me a picture. I don't understand her. She's just like her mother. She wants to waste time drawing pictures, and we're barely able to find enough food to survive. I turned her crayons into candles. We need more candles in case the generator goes out again. And it helps break up the monotony. I yearn for the excitement of those first few weeks. There are things I've wanted to do for years, desires I've kept locked up in the back of my consciousness. It's been nearly a year since I've seen a woman, and now I realize there's no practical reason to keep those desires locked up anymore. See, now, that word, like in this case, desire can mean a few different things. The obscurity, it's, I think this game, the way it's intended to gonna change the storage room code to something I can easily remember. Blank NNY. The rest of the word is missing. So now that one in retrospect was obvious. But I don't know. Those of you who've been watching my gameplays, you know that the simplest solution is not the first solution that comes to mind for me, unfortunately. Oh, I said blank NNY. It's NNY blank. Yes, and then it's Lynn backwards. So I don't know, just because I guess NNY is a common 3-letter end of a word. So I spent about 10 minutes just typing in all the words I could think of that ended with NNY. Obviously, it didn't work, because that wasn't it. Yeah, it's just something about ghostly whimpers of a child. It never stops being extremely creepy. I'm a bag of DNA. I exist to make more of myself. I married and produced a daughter because my genes demand reproduction. I wrote books and created because creativity served as a survival advantage to my ancient ape ancestors. I built this place, took refuge in it, and spent hours thinking up silly little artificial laws to live by because my forefathers built cities and societies to allow time and peace to reproduce and protect their genes. Dreams, loves, opinions, desires, beauty, innocence, figments of our collective primordial imagination. Fleeting electrical signals that fire across our synapses for pointless moment in time. They used to serve a purpose, and now they are needless confusion. And here I am, the last man on earth, for all I know, ready to be freed from them. Very scary stuff. It had the password just right in it. Otherwise it was something very similar. Freed? No. Freedom. Here we go. See, that one I had. I don't think I ever would have got that one. That was a little less obvious. Go. There's only enough food for one, and she's going to die anyway. I'm free now. Freedom. It took the end of all humanity for me to find freedom. You also have to wonder, like, clearly he's educated, either self-taught or whatever. How long has he been wanting something like this to happen? It seems to have been torn from a diary. She finally died last night. I don't know whether from starvation, dehydration, or blood loss. It threw her body into the woods. Her fingers, my anti-religious artifacts, my My testaments to moral and intellectual freedom are locked in the safe upstairs. I am content in the knowledge that I have done nothing wrong. Father didn't know why he'd come back after all these years, starving and tired. He just wanted to see the cellar one last time. With one last flicker, the flashlight died, and he was left in pitch dark. He sat down on the cold floor and closed his eyes. He could still hear her, even now. It was peaceful in the cellar. It was free here in the cellar. Alright, and that was Fingerbones. Yeah, that one, I would say that one is the most dark out of all of his games. It's pretty close with A Wolf in Autumn. The difference is this one started off very with that kind of feeling that it was just going to be nothing but badness that happened. Whereas A Wolf in Autumn, it kind of gives you that false feeling of, like, that it's, like, just with the beautiful scenery and everything, it gives you that false sense of, oh, maybe this game won't go down that road, even though it definitely does, kind of in the second half of the game. So that was Fingerbones. Please tell me what you thought about it. I'm thinking of maybe making this a thing where I play a game, kind of like a interactive narration. I do like doing that a lot. So if you'd like to play Fingerbones for yourself, it's just a very short game. I'll put the link in the description. I'll also put a link to all of David Zemansky's games, as well as his website. Please check him out. He is a wonderful developer. I'm a huge fan. I've said that like 6 times before, but I stand by it. I live by it. And for now, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thanks for being my player too. And until next time, don't get scared without me.